I've never been a big fan of reading lists or TBR videos, but I have found over the last 2 months that I've been a lot more intentional about choosing and selecting the books that I want to read and kind of lining them up and saying this will be the next book, or these next 2 books I'll choose from these 2 books. And I found that by doing that, I've actually read a lot more, and I've read a lot more intentionally and with a lot more purpose rather than just by impulse or by mood. So this video is a little different. I'm going to show you the books that I'm going to try to read by the end of the year. So it's mid-October now, and these are the books that I pulled off the shelf that I want to try to get to before the end of the year. It's a little ambitious, but I think that's okay. So let's go through them. So first one up, I've actually started reading this already. It's Doggerland, I have to look at this, by Ben Smith. And I just got this in the mail maybe about a week or 2 ago. I learned about this from Bookpild's Patreon. He did a short review of this, and it just sounded exactly like the kind of thing I like, and it's exactly the kind of thing that I like. I'm not going to do a big review of it, but I'll just give you a quick overview. It's I'm not exactly sure what's going on in it, and I'm about halfway through. There's a man and a boy, although the boy might be a man also, the old man and a boy, and they're working on kind of a wind farm that's been flooded, and it seems like they're in the UK or Europe, and there has been a lot of extreme climate change. The area they're in is flooded. They're sort of endlessly repairing these wind turbines, and the boy has kind of discovered that things are not exactly what they seem, and that he's probably been lied to about his family and his past. So that's as far as I've gotten. Really great book. I love the writing in this. It's speculative fiction, but it's written really well in a very literary style. So it doesn't have it doesn't fall into the pitfalls of so much genre fiction. So great, great book. Okay, these next books, I have not read anything yet, and some of them I'm not exactly sure about what they're all about. But first one up is Train Dreams. This is the last book I bought, and I'm not going to buy any more books until I read 75 books. So kind of a special book. I'm a fan of Denis Johnson, although I've only read his short stories, and I haven't read any of his novels. And if someone in the Life on Books Discord had recently read this and raved about it, so I thought I would pick it up. And it's a nice, thin little book. I love short books, so why not? Okay, next one, Kang, Greek Lessons. I've read The Vegetarian and Human Acts. Well, couldn't think of that one. Vegetarian and Human Acts. Loved both of them. I had bought this one at the same time that I bought Human Acts, which was almost a year ago. Ashamed to admit, and it's been sitting on the shelf. Haven't read it. People have said this one is difficult or maybe even not good, but I'm definitely interested in it because I haven't read anything by her that I haven't liked yet. So we'll see if that holds true. If I remember correctly, this is about a man and a woman. The man is going blind, and the woman can't speak. And somehow they have a connection. I think one of them is a teacher or something like that. Really not sure what this is about, but definitely interested in reading it. The next one, The Drowned World by J.G. Ballard. I read some J.G. Ballard in my 20s, which was longer ago than I care to admit. But I never really pursued much else of his writing. I read Crash and The Atrocity Exhibition. The Atrocity Exhibition is a really difficult book to read, and Crash is strange as well. But I wanted to sort of get back into J.G. Ballard. I do enjoy science fiction and speculative fiction, and people have said that The Drowned World is one of his very, very good early books. So definitely interested in reading that. I don't know much about the plot on this one, and I'm not going to read the blurb on the back because I hate it when people do that. So the next one is another J.G. Ballard book. This one is Supercons. Probably not pronouncing that correctly because it is a French word, and yeah, not even going to try to pronounce French correctly. I read part of this last summer. Yeah, last summer, and I put it down just because I was traveling a lot, and it's kind of a book that needs your attention and I was just really distracted and just more interested in just going out and enjoying the outside world. But this is about let's see if I can get this correct. There's been a murder at a sort of workspace colony. Imagine WeWork, but it's more cultish and kind of almost like a super colony. And there's been a strange murder there. And I think it's a psychologist and his wife kind of go there to check it out, see what's happening and see what's happening in that colony. And of course, it's J.G. Ballard, so there's going to be all kinds of weird stuff going on. So definitely looking forward to getting back into this one and finishing this one. Next one is The Ruins by Matt Osman. This caught my eye in a bookshop here in Shanghai because I recognized the name Matt Osman, and I thought, well, Matt Osman is a bass player for the band Suede, who I used to really like in the 90s and the 2000s. Still like him. Don't really listen to him much anymore. And I looked on my phone and Googled it, and in fact, it is the Matt Osman from Suede. He's the bass player in Suede, and he's also a novelist. And it sounded pretty fantastic. Maybe a bit similar to Supercon. So there's, I think it's kind of set in an alternative version of the 2000s in London. Two brothers who don't speak to each other. One is murdered, and the other brother learns that he's murdered and goes to find out what happened, and of course uncovers a very strange world, sort of a world within the world of London. It sounds great. It had great reviews, so I bought it. Sat on my shelf for a year, and I didn't read it, so time to change that. Next one is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. Did I get that correct? Yoko Ogawa. Yes. All right. Again, another book I bought about a year ago. I had a big book buying frenzy, and then it's just sat on my shelf. Haven't gotten to it. This has made the rounds on BookTube quite a bit, so it probably doesn't need much of an introduction. But I'm interested in reading this now, and I will read it now because I'm much more interested in speculative fiction and kind of alternative realities, that kind of thing. And also kind of political stories a bit too. So this is about an island where people's memories are altered, and people know that this is happening, and yet it still keeps going on. And the narrator's mother, I think it's the narrator's mother, is chosen to have her memories altered or removed. And it's kind of all about how that happens and the fallout there. Really looking forward to reading this one. All right, this next book I know very little about, but I'm very curious about it, and it has a fantastic cover. I really like this cover. Not going to lie, I bought it largely because of the cover. It's Ottessa Moshfegh. I don't know how to pronounce that, so let's move on. This is a collection of her short stories. I've read nothing by her at all. Eileen, I think, was... yeah, it says right there. Eileen, her novel Eileen was nominated for the Booker Award, but I haven't read that. I haven't read anything by her. She had another book, My Year of Rest and Recuperation or something like that. Haven't read that either, but that cover looked great and her name caught my eye. So, and I saw that this was short stories, so why not? I love short stories. And next one, another book I don't know much about, but it really caught my eye. And I bought this together with Doggerland and this next book. This is A Very Private Life by Michael Frayn. This was written in the late 60s, and it kind of, in a way, kind of predicts our obsession with privacy in a very public world. And it was kind of described as experimental, and kind of a commentary on casual drug use, on party drugs, on stardom and things like that. It's a very short book. And when I got it, I flipped through it. And what really caught my eye is that each chapter is maybe a page or a page and a half. So it looks very, very interesting. And I hope I like it a lot. The last book I have here is Blue Ticket by Sophie Mackintosh. I bought this together with Doggerland and A Very Private Life. This really caught my eye, partially because of the cover, but then when I read the blurb about it, basically, again, kind of a speculative novel in that there is a lottery, and if you get a winning lottery ticket, you get to have a job and you get to have financial security and a life. And that's something that's apparently in this world, maybe the world we're in now, is very rare to have. And the narrator is not exactly sure that she's comfortable having that. She wants to investigate and find out, why is that? What exactly is going on with that? So kind of going into this one blind, going into a few of these blind, but should be some interesting reading. So those are the books that I'm going to try to read before the end of the year. I'm definitely going to read these books before I buy any other books, because this is the first chunk of my Read What You Own challenge. Let me know if you have read any of these. Let me know if what you're going to read before the end of the year. And let me know what you think about doing TBRs or about kind of setting up reading lists or reading projects for yourself. How do you do that? Does that help you read a lot? That's kind of what I've found for myself. So there you go. In case you don't know, my name is Carl, and this has been Please Read Your Book.